Hello everyone, Raging Spartan here, and welcome to The Monster Inside Me. This is a little, I guess it's an audio-visual novel, or novella. It seemed to be like a noir kind of thing, but I'll start it up. I've seen it recommended on Steam. It's free, so if anyone wants it, just look it up. It's free, you don't have to pay anything for it if you want to go through the same thing. Just start it up right here. Don't know how much of this I'm going to get done in this episode, but I hope it doesn't end up having to come like 3 or 4 episodes. My head pounded, earstone ringing slightly. Some of the worst nightmares I've had in years left me feeling like I had been punched in the jaw. Just like any other day, I dragged myself to the office. There was another notice on the door from Mayor Vanity's office. Permits had a date. They didn't like me that much, and they were trying to drown me in paperwork. It was a slow week since I'd had any real case to work on, so I passed the time pacing the office, smoking and staring at the mirror in the corner, safely covered with an old bedsheet. I didn't dare look at my own reflection. I'm too afraid of what I might see. Afraid someday I might have to face what I really am. The girl came in so quietly I nearly choked on my cigarette. Mister, please, you gotta help me, mister. Okay, so it has options. Calm down, sit down, sit and talk. Okay, thanks. It's just, no one will listen to me. Just tell me your tale, I'm listening. She eyed me with just a dash of suspicion as I tossed them back a handful of pills and chased them with a swig of whiskey. I could tell this might take a while. Her name was Lily. She told me she was his mistress, the man all over the papers, the infamous banker, Mr. Reginald Farnsworth. Mr. Farnsworth was a drunk, philandering bastard. But this girl seemed genuinely concerned that they had recently gone missing. Less concerned about the fact that Mr. Farnsworth's wife had just turned up dead in Central Park 2 nights ago. Lily, you don't understand. He just couldn't have done it. He hated his wife, but he couldn't have killed her. Everyone thinks it was him, and no one believes me. He's got to be in trouble. I ain't saying I believe you, but what makes you think he's in danger? This looks pretty to me. Top one. Well, Mr. Jack. You can just call me Jack. Jack, whoever did this to my wife must have been the one who took him. To his wife must have been the one who took him. He would have never left me without me. He promised. Mr. Farnsworth promised this girl a lot of things. Please, the cops won't listen to me, and they want to bring him in on charges. You gotta prove it wasn't him before they find him. Honestly, I doubt they are in too much of a hurry. Farnsworth had practically an entire police force sent in his deep pockets, probably why they hadn't found much yet. If they found him and brought him in, it would be due to the public pressure. Sometimes a mob with pitchforks is more dangerous than an old man with money. Got my curiosity. I can help you at the bottom of it, don't you worry. I'll tell her to be the truth. Curiosity, but you might not like what I find. Oh, thank you, Mr. Jack. Thank you. But please, be careful. I don't think this was just any murder or kidnapper. I think it was a beast. Dun dun dun. Beast. The words struck me funny, like when you jar your elbow on a hard corner. Not a word many use these days, except in hushed whispers and bedtime stories for children. Oh, they were real enough, alright. They just got better at hiding, controlling their unseemly urges. But I hadn't seen any monsters in nearly 15 years, back when I'm still caught myself. Well, definitely an interesting theory. I can help you. We'll get to the bottom of it, don't you worry now. The detective work to me. Let's not jump to any conclusions here. I'll just say that. Don't want to... Lily. And you seem like the kind of man who's good at solving mysteries. Sure. Can't see how busy I am with cases. I replied a little too harshly. Sarcasm wasn't my strong suit. I reassured her some more and sent her on her way. I didn't want to scare her, but I warned her before she left to keep her doors locked and call me if she saw anything suspicious. I didn't know if she was in any danger herself, but better safe than sorry. The night I made my way to the Central Park, it was a long shot, but maybe there was something there the cops had missed. The next chapter. Chapter Dosium. The scene had already been picked clean by the cops days ago, but I got a knack for finding the things others overlook. Okay. A knack, more of a symptom of a condition. Other, less useful symptoms I keep in check. But for the time being, my keen sense of smell would come in handy. So this guy's supposed to be like a werewolf or something? It was faint, but I could smell it before I even approached the police line. The scent was less of a thing and more of an emotion. Seduction. A strangely familiar smell. I expected a scent of trepidation or maybe even outright fear, but Mrs. Farnsworth seemed to have been at the height of pleasure when she left this world. Brought new meaning to a crime of passion. Pushing the thought from my mind, it was time to get down to business. Investigate the scene. Claw marks. A burn on a nearby tree caught my eye. I ran my finger along its length and felt a chill down my spine. That wasn't just a burn mark. It was the mark of an ancient magic. I doubtful the cops would have picked up on it. Could Lily have been right? Something unnatural was at play here. Let's see. But I was no stranger to the strange. Investigate the scene. Let's see here. Oh, what's this? Muddy footprints everywhere. Difficulty to pick out anything from the prints the cops left behind in their haste. But the cops don't wear $2,000 pairs of carquinos. It looks like Miss Farnsworth was there that night and walked away on his own 2 feet, or Mr. Farnsworth, on 2 feet. After looking around for a while longer, I realized the park had given up all it was hiding from me. So I trudged back to my apartment. My head hit the pillow like it owed me money. Next chapter. The next morning, I was feeling another bout of ghoulish nightmares, but I tried to hide my discomfort when I saw Lily was already sitting outside my office. She waited wordlessly as I unlocked the door and ripped down another notice from the mayor's office. It meant I motioned for her to step inside, seemingly afraid that I might say. She finally worked up the courage to ask. So, what do you find? I've got good news, still might be alive, but something looks unnatural. Was I play? Raven monsters. Not sure about the beast, but something unnatural was over play. Unnatural? What do you mean? Spell marks. A spell's mark. Rarely seen these days, but unmistakable. What does that mean? What about Reggie? Do you know where he might be? Found his footprint. Seems like he got to safety. My tone was indifferent towards her as I turned and grabbed a bottle from my desk drawer. A dryness in my throat made it difficult to swallow my meds. But know where he went? Do you know where he went? Do you think the news this morning is related? What news is related? Haven't you heard? No. Rough night followed by a rough morning. They found the police chief's wife dead down by the docks. They say it happened last night. Let me guess. Chief Amato is missing too. My face must have betrayed a hint of satisfaction as she confirmed my suspicions, but it faded quickly. Amado was a shit cop and a shit chief. He was half the reason I left the force, but now his wife was dead and I had more questions than I did the day before. The gears in my head started to spin, which wasn't helped by the spinning pain in my temples. I told Lily I needed to work, and she left slightly dejected, wanted more answers than I could provide. The night after the cops had cleared out of the docks, I would slip down and see if I can uncover anything Miss Amado's untimely demise. Okay, I will apologize if me messing up in the middle of reading kind of ruining it for some people, but I don't know, just sometimes it just can't help it. The cold air smelled strongly of salt and oil, and could it be? The smell again as someone had bottled pure arousal and used as perfume. It hit me like a long memory. The sensual fumes soon gave way to a rush of adrenaline. I knew exactly what the scent reminded me of, and that scared me more than not knowing. I looked down at my hand, shaking, the nightmares, the headaches. No, I was better now, reformed. I had to focus. No jumping to conclusions to follow the evidence. What's this? Red Phoenix cigarettes. Same shitty brand I smoke every day. Everyone's got their vice. Investigate the scene. There. Just there. The smallest piece of purple fabric. Torn and caught in the splitter of a board. The police report didn't say anything about the Samana wearing purple, and it was certainly of a quality that you wouldn't expect down here. Don't see too many high society types just flaunting royal purple threads. I pulled out a pack of reds and lit it up. I could already feel another headache coming on, but looking out over the waves seemed to help me forget. The cold helped me push down to uncomfortable thoughts that had been bubbling to the top of my brain. Next chapter. I honestly don't remember the walk to the office. Apparently, I spent the night in my easy chair. The air from the dock still lingered on my clothes. It was still dark out there. No, I checked the clock. How long had I been out? I had already slept through an entire day. A newspaper was sitting under the door. As I stood to fetch it, I nearly fell over. A wave of nausea hit me like a ton of bricks. I started myself and regained my composure. Before I even picked up the paper, I could already read the headline. Breaking news, mayor missing, wife found dead. 2 cases and a coincidence, 3 is a pattern. The cops had been asking, would come asking questions soon. They knew I had a history of antagonizing all the victims. I stumbled to my deck and slammed back 3 days worth of inhibitor pills. I couldn't take any chances. I had to investigate the scene to be sure. I threw on my jacket and went to the door. Lily caught me off guard on the other side. Jack, where are you off to? I've been trying to reach you all day. Sorry, Lily, but I don't have time to talk. I have to go. Or, I've just been busy. I'm off to see Miss Valentine's, or whatever her name is. Okay, but we need to talk when you get back. Stay safe. She gave me a soft kiss on the cheek and I rushed off. Part of me wanted to stay and tell her it'd be okay. But it would be a lie. The alley was just located behind the high-rise apartments where Mayor Venatini and his wife lived. I could tell the police were spooked now. The crime scene was even sloppier than the last. They hadn't even noticed to submit the trash and the evidence. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna double check to make sure I still have time left. And 6 minutes. Okay, that should be good. Okay, it should be good to do something real quick. Why wouldn't they at least look to the dumpster? It seemed untouched. No one wants to do the dirty work. But I know how to find the good stuff. It really doesn't take long if you know where to look for it. Lightweight bags usually mean someone was dumping documents. If you were lucky, they didn't bother to shred them. Jackpot. Shell companies Shady stock trades, bribes. I knew Mayor Ventini was crooked, but this was unbelievable. There was more. Letters from Mayor Ventini and Chief Amato, talking about me. They were trying to shut me down. They didn't like me snooping around crime scenes all the time. Well, they weren't here to stop me snooping around this time. Let's see. Car door. Venetini's car. If he's still alive, why wouldn't he have left it in his car? Or why wouldn't he have left in his car? Why would he have left in his car? I don't know. It didn't make any sense. I honestly wasn't too motivated to find him, but the stakes were too high, and my bet was edging towards the unthinkable. I searched around for anything that might have. I surged my fears. I caught the scent again, and overwhelmed my other senses with undying pleasure. It was intoxicating. A weapon used on the weak-willed. A weapon I knew all too well. Though it had. Was there another like me? Was I being framed? It wasn't possible, was it? I was taking my inhibitors. I was reformed. By the nightmares, the headaches, the memory lapses, but I couldn't even trust myself. I started walking to the alley when something shiny caught my eye. A watch. Not just any watch, though. My watch. How long had my wrist been bare? Surely I just dropped it when I first came down the alley. I checked the time just before I left the office, hadn't I? Or had I used a wall clock? I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be sure of anything. So I ran. Next chapter. I think it's either Lily did it or it is him. Because it seems like really obvious to be him, so I don't know why I ran back to the office. The cops would probably show up in any minute to knock the door down and carry me away. Or cart me away. They would put it together before long. Maybe it would be the best for everyone if I just simply faced my own reflection. But Lily was still there waiting for me. Jack, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost. My own ghost, come back to haunt me from the past. You're not making any sense, Jack. Come sit down. You don't understand. You're not safe around me. I took a good last look at her as I prepared to shove her out the door. I noticed she was wearing the same thing she had when she first came to my office 3 days ago. A beautiful purple dress. Knew it. Odd that I hadn't really noticed before, but it made her seem out of place, out of time. And it was frayed from the edges, torn in places. My chair caught my fall as my knees failed me. It was you. You're the monster. Succubus. Oh, Jack. We are one and the same, you and I. We are both monsters. I simply more honest with myself. There's no such thing as reformation. Those pills only make you dull. Beasts like us should never suppress our true natures as you have incubus. Oh, okay. So, I know a lot of people know what a succubus is, but an incubus is literally just the male version of it. They're like demons. They can't reproduce by themselves, so they need something from the other sex in order to have a kid. So an incubus they usually make deals with human women, or they kind of trick them into having sex with them so they can have kids. And succubus is the same. They get they seduce, or they kind of make deals with men to have sex with them so they can give birth. So apparently I was wrong. I sounded more like a werewolf, but incubus makes sense too with all the arousal. Those men were probably dead too now, I figured. She probably took them to her lair and harvested seed. So, you done all this just to wake me up? You could say that, though it seemed enough just to have you doubt yourself. You believe you were still capable of such horrors, which means deep down you probably are. You can't escape it. Now I need you to complete the deed. You took my watch. Messed up my head. Oh, don't act like I didn't do you a favor. Those men hated you and wanted you gone, and now they are gone. I mustered the strength to stand again, moving casually to the window by the corner. She was right about one thing. I was dull, weak compared to her. If I refused her and she attacked me, I was dead man. I had to keep her talking. I never met a succubus who seduces and kills women. Oh, please. Such a 14th century stereotype. I don't discriminate when it comes to pleasure of the flesh. But I still need an incubus like yourself to take the tainted seed I've harvested from the awful men and planted along the fertile masses for me. I'm tired of draining my lovers just to survive. I'm ready to settle down and start a family. Ha 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 ha! That maniacal laughter. Something like, ah, ha, 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 ha. Oh, I can't do what Williams said. That just sounds stupid, so I positioned myself carefully, making sure she was looking my direction. Sorry, but I'm not your guy. With a flick of my wrist, I whipped off the bedsheet and took the corner of the mirror. Lily was blinded by her own reflection, sucked into the mirror with a painful monster scream. Trapped. Shielding my own eyes, I pulled a revolver at the desk up on my desk side drawer, aimed at the mirror, and bam, and fired. You killed her. I didn't know about the whole mirror thing, or is that just for this thing? And that's the end. That was a neat little story. I kind of saw a werewolf the first time I heard about it. Oh hey, I guess he has other games. More from Random Seed Games. Okay. Lacuna Passage and Time Frame. Okay, well, I hope you liked this video. Hopefully my voice wasn't cringy or anything. I just kind of got into it and just started talking. I couldn't even really hear myself half the time with the music. So I'll probably look it over, and if it's too cringy, I'll probably do it over again. But I'll probably leave this part in just to know. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I hope you liked it. Please show your support, and I hope I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.